So let's say $10,000 just landed in your bank account. Maybe it was a bonus, a tax refund, an inheritance, or just years of saving finally adding up. It's exciting and also a little overwhelming because now you have to decide what to actually do with it. Before we go any further, this video is for education only, not personalized financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor, and everyone's situation is different. What we're covering is the general order that financial experts consistently recommend. So here's the mistake almost everyone makes with a sudden windfall. They go straight to the exciting question: which stock, which crypto, which app, before answering a much more boring one: where does this money actually do the most good for me right now? So let's climb this one step at a time. Step 1: before investing a single dollar, check whether you have an emergency fund, whether you have enough cash to cover roughly 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. And it should be sitting somewhere safe and easy to access. For example, a high yield savings account. So this step feels boring compared to the stock market, but it's what protects every other investment you make. Without it, one surprise expense, a medical bill, a job loss, a single car repair, can force you to sell the investments at exactly the wrong time, just to cover an emergency. If your emergency fund isn't fully funded yet, this is often the best first step for at least part of your $10,000. And it's not even a bad return while it sits there. High yield savings accounts have recently been paying interest in the range of about 4% annually, which is far better than any typical checking account. Step 2: high interest debt. If you're carrying a credit card balance charging somewhere around 20% interest in a year, paying that down isn't just responsible, it's mathematically one of the best returns available to you anywhere. Here's why: the stock market has historically returned somewhere between 10 to 15% a year on average before inflation. If your credit card is charging you double that, paying it off is like locking in a guaranteed risk free return that beats the market. There's no realistic investment that reliably beats the cost of high interest debt. One nuance worth mentioning: this mainly applies to high interest debt like credit cards, not necessarily something like a low interest mortgage or student loans. Those can sometimes make more sense to pay off slowly while investing the difference. But that's more of a personal decision that depends on your specific rate. Step 3: and this one genuinely surprises people. If your employer offers a retirement plan with a matching contribution, that match is usually the single best return available anywhere, period. Think of an employer match like this: if your company matches 100% of what you contribute up to a certain percentage of your salary, that's an automatic, instant doubling of that portion of your money before it's even invested. No stock, fund, or crypto reliably offers that. So if you haven't been contributing enough to get your full match, using part of your $10,000 to cover your regular expenses while you increase your paycheck contribution can effectively let you capture that match, money that's already yours to claim. Step 4: tax advantage retirement accounts, specifically IRAs. Once you've captured any employer match, an individual retirement account is one of the most efficient places to grow money long term. And that's because the government gives you a tax break in exchange for savings towards retirement. So there are two main types. A traditional IRA usually gives you a tax deduction today, but you pay taxes when you withdraw the money in retirement. A Roth IRA works the exact opposite: no deduction today, but the money grows and can be withdrawn years later, completely tax free. The general rule of thumb is this: if you expect to be in a lower tax bracket in retirement, traditional often makes more sense. And if you expect to be in a similar or higher bracket, Roth often makes more sense. If you also have access to a health savings account tied to a high deductible health plan, that's worth knowing about too. It offers a rare triple tax advantage, and any unused funds can even function like an extra retirement account later in life. Step 5: if you've covered the steps above and still have money left over, this is where most experts point towards a low-cost index fund. Investments that simply track a broad slice of the market, like hundreds of companies at once, instead of betting on one. The appeal is diversification. Instead of guessing which single company will win, you own a small piece of many companies at once, which smooths out the ride. And research consistently shows the most actively managed funds, the ones with a person picking stocks and charging higher fees, fail to beat simple index funds over long periods of time. This is also the step where people choose to add smaller, high risk pieces, individual stocks, real estate funds, or other assets. But most guidance agrees they should stay at a modest slice of the overall pie, not the main course, especially for a first time investor. And step 6. This one really isn't an action, but it's a mindset, and that's time. If you invested $10,000 today and it grew at an average of 8% a year for 30 years, without adding another single dollar, that alone could grow somewhere over $100,000. The single best lever most new investors underuse isn't picking the perfect investment. It's simply staying invested and letting time do the compounding. So if $10,000 landed in your bank account tomorrow, here's the order worth thinking about. Create a safety net first. Pay down expensive debt next. Any employer match third. Tax advantage accounts fourth. And broad, low cost investing fifth. And then get out of your own way and let time do the work.